Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about candle magic. Now, I always tell you if you get a ritual from me that I will read the glass at the end of the ritual. So this whole entire video is just dedicated to showing you what different glasses look like and what they mean. Now, when we do candle magic, we have to get out of the regular and realize that we're not mundane anymore, that we're now in a magical sense. It's not just a candle anymore. It's never going to be just a candle after you have ritualized it. The study of candle magic is called ceromancy or ceromancy. Now that's when you're actually reading the wax. Sometimes you can put the wax in water and then read and look at the shapes that form and try to divine figures out of it. It could also be the study of the candle flame. Now, I am not talking about that today. This takes it a little bit further. I'm talking about using glass candles. Now, the candles that I'm using are these pillar glasses. So what I do is when I get a pillar glass and I'm doing a ritual, I am holding that glass in my hands and I'm putting my intention into it. So it's no longer just a regular candle. I'm taking it and I'm putting everything that I have into it and I'm letting the candle know what its job is and what its charge is. Now, inside of that candle, I'm usually putting herbs and oils, items. I may be putting nails or broken glass, whatever it is inside of it. I also am writing on it. Sometimes I'm writing the name of the target or I'm writing words. I could be writing something down like hatred, breakup, curse. Now these candles have words on them already. This is a cleansing candle and it already has that on it. So that's what we would use that for. So after I ritualized it and I light it, I leave it alone and I let it go ahead and do its thing for 7 days, however long it takes. Sometimes these candles can take 7 days to burn down. Sometimes they take 4 days to burn down. Now, I have myself started a fire in my fucking house once from leaving these burned. I had an incident where a candle just got out of control and it started a fire in my kitchen. So I don't leave them burning unattended anymore, and you shouldn't either. The only advice I could give if you are going to leave it unattended is to put it in a metal sink. That way, if anything happens, if it breaks, it can't catch anything on fire and it's surrounded by metal and maybe a little water inside of the sink as well. After the 7 days, I look at the entire glass and I'm looking for certain characteristics, which we're going to go through here. I implore you, if you've never done magic before, I want you to get 2 of these candles, just 2 pillar candles, and I want you to light one. Just take one off the store shelf, take it home, light it, and put it on the side. The second one I want you to take and I want you to put an intention into it. If you've never done magic before, putting an intention to something is just basically saying, this is what you're going to do. You're going to bring me money. You don't ever want to phrase it as, I want money or anything. You want to phrase it as if it's already true. So you're going to bring me money. You have brought me $500. I'm thankful. And with this $500, I'm going to get my car fixed. That's the intention that you're going to put in this. And you're going to light it. If you do have oils and herbs, put some in there. If not, if you don't have anything but just your intention, put your intention in it. Maybe write out a little petition, a written statement of what you've said for this candle. Put that under it, light it, and watch it. The 2 will be different. I'm telling you, the 2 are going to be different. When you take something from mundane to magic and you actually see it for yourself, you begin to understand that we don't know a fucking thing about this planet. We can influence things so heavily and so greatly just with a thought. And this is a great way for you to see how magic works. Looking at these candles after a week and looking at the one that you did nothing to and the one that you did something to and realizing that they are completely different. Even the flames sometimes will be different. If you have one candle in one hand that you've done absolutely nothing to, and you set it down, the flame sometimes is very still. You could have another candle that you did something to and the flame is going off. Now this one is a ritualized candle, and I don't know if you can see that. There's no wind inside of this candle at all, and I've shown you guys this several times before. But the candle flame is moving and flickering, and sometimes it will go in a circle like a tornado. You can see it moving. There's no wind, there's no air conditioner on, there's nothing. Sometimes this flame will get super high, like a crack torch flame, and then it will go super low. And you'll see this when you start to do your own thing with these candle flames. You know, I should be able to move this side by side and nothing's affecting it because there's no air going in it. And you can still see that it's sometimes moving, flickering, bouncing up and down. It's got its own life and its own energy, its own charge to it. So when we are ritualizing a candle, what we're looking for at the end of it is we want that candle glass to be clear, like we could drink water out of it. If it's completely clear and has no blackness on it, like you can see this one is completely clear, doesn't have any blackness on it, we can say that this candle, this ritual encountered no obstacles in manifesting. We could say that our energy was strong and it went to the target as it was intended. This candle here is a spell breaker candle. So a client wanted to see if they had a curse on them and wanted me to do a blessing on them. I did the blessing and I looked at the candle and I said, no, there's nothing on you. There's nothing on you at all. Nobody's cursed you. All the bad luck is shit that you're doing on your own because there's no curse here. If there was, this candle would have been black. So we go into another one. Now this one is another cleansing candle as well. Now look at the difference between these two. So you have this one, it's the same candle, different writing on it, but it's cleansing, spell breaker and cleansing. This is clear. Look how dark this one is. And you can see it's dark almost down to the very bottom. So it starts to get a little bit clear here. There's some shit on this person. Nothing here, something here. Same intent, completely different results. So this person is completely fine and I know that there's nothing on them. This right here with this blackness, I know there's something on them and it's heavy and it's serious because this candle is black all the way here. So we would say that from here to here is opaque, that this candle, this ritual encountered a lot of resistance in cleansing the person. There's a lot there. There's a lot of spiritual gunk there. Now, when we think of how magic works, we think of things, I want you to think of things magically traveling from your hands to your energy, from your lips, your intent, and going to your target. And it goes through the ether. There is an emptiness around us. You know, we don't see anything and it just looks like air or whatever, but we really are in a fish tank. And ether is the water that's, you know, in the tank with us. So imagine if you were in the ocean and you screamed or did something in the ocean, fracking or whatever it is, it's going to send out a vibration. No matter how big or small, it's a vibration. It's going to affect the entire body of water that it was contained in. So if it was the ocean, it may just be a tiny ripple in the ocean, but it can go through that entire ocean. If you were inside of that ocean, you would be able to swim from the deepest depths to the top or wherever. There's no bounds of where you could go because you're in that ocean. It's the same thing with the thought. A thought is in the ether. The ether encompasses the entire earth. There's no such thing as time or distance in the ether. So if you send out a thought, it's going through the ether from your hands, from your magic, from your candle, and it's going to your target. And I guarantee you, once you become an established practitioner, you'll begin to see that, how powerful that ether is. There's not nothingness around us. We are completely surrounded, and that is how I am able to, and how you will be able to affect people in Africa, Asia, wherever it is that you want from your little apartment. From my little apartment, I'm able to affect any change that I want on earth. There's no place or person that I cannot touch, because I know that this is not nothingness. So that is how I am affecting change, and that is how I am reading this. I know that this is now connected to my target. It's now connected to that purpose. I see blackness on it, and I see that there's a lot of energy that this ritual encountered trying to cleanse this person. So this person probably does need several cleansings. They'll probably need a reading. I don't do readings anymore for clients. I do them for myself when I'm trying to read into things, but to figure out exactly what this is, they would probably need a reading. They'd have to contact their reader, their psychic, whoever that you trust, to give you a reading and figuring out what exactly this resistance is, so we can fine tune the ritual a little bit more and try to get whatever it is off and not be so general. So here we have, this is a breakup candle. Look how black that is. So do you think we were able to break these people up? Probably not. You see all this blackness on here, it's black, 75% black, kind of goes clear in the bottom. This could mean a ton of different things. If I see blackness like this, it could be they don't need to fucking break up. Maybe you need to fucking move on. Maybe they're fine. Maybe it's you that has the issue, and maybe it's you that needs to move on and walk out of their relationship. Or maybe they're so toxic that their toxicity is binding them and they can't be broken up because they're in a dysfunctional relationship. So that could be that blackness too. The other blackness could be there's so much shit going on in their life that nothing is going to reach them. Maybe they just suffered a tragedy or something where they may not even be in love with each other, but the circumstances is so fucked up that they can't break up right now. Maybe they live together and breaking up would mean one of them moving out or a loss of finances or something, so they can't do it. So this would be the resistance. You would need a reading for that to figure out exactly what this is. Is it because they're in love, or is it because they're indebted to each other? So this would be a non-successful ritual. I know that this couple is not going to break up from this ritual that I did. It's not going to happen. There's too much there and too much that is clear on the bottom. So I know that this would need to be repeated, or we would have to dig into why that didn't work, but that is not going to work. They're not going to separate. Now we have this one. This is the same candle. This is a breakup candle. Now what do you see there? It's almost clear. You have a tiny little bit of smokiness on it. And then there's some wax left in the bottom, but there's some wax left in the bottom of this one too. And sometimes it could just be from the brand, the maker of the candle. The wick wasn't, long enough or strong enough or whatever it is to burn the wax off the bottom. So I'm not reading too much into that since both of them kind of have the wax on the bottom. Sometimes wax being left over just means that there's messiness and that there's things that still need to be cleaned up before it's a 100%. But look at the difference. Breakup, breakup. This couple's going nowhere. This couple's done. So this breakup candle is a success. I would read this little blackness on there means that it's just superficial, like their relationship. There's hardly anything there to keep them together. There's hardly anything on the glass. There's hardly anything there in their relationship. We would be able to break them up. You probably would be able to break them up permanently with that little bit of blackness there. There's not much there. It could be that they just met, or one of the other ones doesn't love the other one. Whatever it is, there's not really any resistance energy-wise keeping these two together. So you have the difference between those two candles. And sometimes people will do a ritual with me. They get a black candle like that, and I tell them you have to do it again. And it's not about money or, I'm trying to scam you and I want you to keep buying rituals from me. Sometimes situations change. From day to day, from week to week, things change. You may get a black candle like that, and then 2 weeks later you get this. And then I'll get an email, they fucking broke up. I'm like, yeah, of course, I know they broke up. But why? I found out he cheated on her, she found out, or whatever it is, and that's what it is. So there could be 1,000 reasons why you get a black candle and then you get a clear one. We don't know without a reading, or especially if you're not able to monitor the person. Here we have another one. This one is a come to me candle. It's completely clear, no resistance there. So this person could expect to see really good results from this candle. Their target is probably not going to have any problem coming around and fulfilling their desires. We have this one here. What is this one? This is a road opener. So this one person wanted their path opened and all the obstacles taken out of their path that were in their way to fulfilling their dreams, their destiny. So no resistance there. This one, 7 by 7 against everything. This one is a kind of a spell breaker as well. This person had a lot. Now, it wasn't as black as this. Like, you can see how black this is. You can still kind of see through this one. it's still pretty serious. Not as serious as this, because it's not as opaque, but it's still serious. This one is very smoky and it goes all the way down. So there is some gunk kind of covering this person's life that needs to be removed. If we were doing, this one is kind of a spell reversal or whatever, I would want to do that one again, and I'd want that candle to come out clear, because I know that that person is still going to have some resistance in their life. Another road opener one. This one is clear, so that person's going to see good results from that. Uncrossing. It's a blessing candle. This one is clear. That person's good. This is a shut up candle. Wanting to get someone to quit talking shit, wanting to stop someone from gossiping. Now this one is kind of 50-50. Now this one is super black here, a lot of resistance, and then it goes clear. Now when I see something like this isn't too good. I don't want this blackness at the top, but it burnt clear and it's like 50%, it's like 50-50. So they will see some relief from this one. Now, say their goal with the shut up candle was to get this person fired and to move away. They're not going to do that because there's too much blackness here. They may not get fired, but we see this clearness on the bottom. They might get written up, but it's not going to come to fruition exactly how you want it because it's still got that blackness on it. So you will see some results from this ritual, but it might not be exactly what you want it to be. Now I have these two candles of a case that I've been working on, trying to break a couple up, trying to split them up. Person's cheating on the other person, the one person knows about it, and they're trying to split this couple up so the one can move on and the other one can be miserable like they deserve to be because they're cheating and lying to the partner. When I tried to separate them, I got this. Now, I know nothing is going to come from this because it's too black. Now on the bottom, it burned clear, but it was still very minimal success on the bottom. So there's a lot keeping this couple together. That is keeping them from separating. And then the little bit on the bottom, I could say maybe this will cause a couple arguments, but it's not gonna be anything to put the hammer, the nail in the hammer like they want. So I would say that this breakup candle, at most, they have a few arguments and maybe a couple nights where they don't sleep together or talk to each other, whatever, but they're not gonna break up. So I did this 1 week, and then 5 days later, I did the same ritual and lit it, and what do we have? This blackness at the top, this black ring was done by me when I had the wax full and I put a bunch of herbs in it, smoked the glass, so there really wasn't any blackness from this. And you also see the flame, look how low the flame is now. The flame was super high when I showed it to you at the beginning. Still the same amount of wick exposed, and now it's lower. So we see that this candle is not encountering as much resistance as this one. So I know I'm gonna see results from this one. And you know what's gonna happen after this one extinguishes? I'm gonna light up another one because I'm going towards getting that glass to be white like this. I want this. This is what I want. So I know that I'm making progress. I know that my ritual is working, and I'm gonna keep hacking away at it. I'm gonna keep hacking away. Also too, I have a lot of words written on this glass. This is the first candle that I've had in a long time where the flame keeps going to one side. If you can see it, it's very crooked, it's going to one side. Every so often, a couple hours, I push the flame right back in the middle. I take the wick and I pull it into the middle of the candle because I don't want the glass to break, and it keeps going to the side. So I started paying attention to what side is it going to, because I have words written all the way around it. This is the first curse candle for this case where I've written words all the way around it. And I started paying attention that it's pulling to certain words. So the words that it's pulling to are deception, lies exposed, betrayal, and disgust. The rest of them I can't read because I wrote on black, so I'll be able to read the words that I wrote after the wax is gone, but that's what it's pulling to. And I'm like, okay, I can say that lies exposed, deception, it sounds like the person is going to figure out that the other person was cheating. Something's going to happen where this person is going to have some clarity about their partner, and that may be the hammer, the nail in the hammer, whatever that makes that relationship break up and break up for good. Every time I put the flame back in the middle, it goes straight back to those words. So that's what I mean about mundane to magical, is don't write anything off. As soon as I light a ritual and I light a candle, everything's magical. If a dog starts barking after I lit this, I write it down. Dog started barking after I said this and lit it, dog barked. That has something to do with my ritual. The candle flame pulling to the side and pulling towards certain words, that has something to do with my ritual. If this glass were to break, I would write that down and say it was a magical happenstance. It wasn't just, oh, the glass got hot. Well, no, it pulled to the glass until it exploded it, and that is magical and it means something. And I'll write it down and try to decipher exactly what it means. I don't write anything off. The smell of this candle smelled like metal. Like if you were in a metal working shop, just filled my house with the smell like charcoal and metal, like a coal mine or something, you know, like dank, funky, metallic smell. You know, I hate that smell, and I've had a few candles that have done that. This one has done that, so I write that down. The smell, you know, like cold, wet den, basement or whatever. This candle has an energy on it, and it made my house smell like that, so I would write that down. Also writing down how fast some of these burn down. Now, you know, this one, it burned down in maybe like 4 days, and it started turning black immediately, and I was like, oh shit, it's not gonna work. And it didn't, you know, it's clear on the bottom. 4 days of that. This one has been about 2.5 days. Now look how far that is. That's insanely fast, which means my results are probably gonna come about pretty quickly. So that's just a little bit of inside, I guess, information about reading candle glasses. I just want you to get into the habit of being able to read your own work, and also getting into, you know, getting used to seeing magic working in your everyday life. A lot of you are curious or not practitioners, or maybe you believe in magic, maybe you don't, but maybe this is something that can kind of let you know that there's other things out there. Magic is real. You know, we don't know exactly why certain things work, but they do work. When you start lighting your own candles and keeping track of your results, you'll see that things are working and things are different. You'll look at the flames are different, how the wax is burning down. The candle that you did nothing to and lit may, you know, last 27 hours. And the one that you spoke life into may burn down in 15 hours, 12 hours. The flame is different. It may even have a smell. You may have put nothing in it, but it smells weird, you know, or you hear it popping or cracking. Sometimes it's hissing, it's making sound, and, you know, getting you to look. I've had times where I have things just lit on my counter and I'll see something and I look out of the corner of my eye and the flame is going crazy trying to get me to look at it. Or I'll be on the phone talking about a particular ritual and I'll start seeing the flame of that candle reacting to me because it knows that I am talking about it. And it will start to react and get bigger and dance and flame around like, hey, I hear you talking about me, you know, good or bad. And when I'm done talking about the particular target or case or whatever, it goes back to normal. So there's that connection again that I spelled and I enchanted that candle, and I'm connected to it, and I'm also connected to the target. When I do magic for you guys and you tell me, you know, the awful things someone did to you and this is why I'm cursing them, sometimes I tap into that and I can feel the rage, or I feel the energy of the person and I know, yeah, they deserve it, you know, or no, they don't deserve it, you're tripping, you know. I can feel a lot of those things and I stay connected to it while I'm doing it. You know, the candle is connected to me because I am the one that I'm putting the energy into it, trying to bring about results for you in your life, but I'm still connected to it. So now I'm the third party. And some people I don't want to be connected to. You know, that's the reason that you're cursing them. It's like, I feel their nasty energy. You feel their nasty energy. The candle is letting off energy in my space. that I have to live with for the 6 or 7 days that is burning. So you go through a lot when you're doing this candle magic, because it's not just simple set it and forget it. It's letting off energy in your environment for the totality that it takes for it to burn. So 6, 7 days, it might be super intense. So you also have to be prepared for that as well. That connection to that ritual. So that is the video on candles. I'm going to do a video part 2 and showing you why we do repetition, why sometimes you have to do shit 15 times. And it's not about money. I'm going to show you the best way that I know how on what happens when we start to throw several curses at a situation, and when we build upon it and start to do layers and create like a network almost of energy around the person that we're trying to affect, whether it be positive or negative change. So that is coming next.